Even now in heaven there were angels carrying savage weapons.
It's a dangerous world out there. Violence, corruption, crime, and organised crime. And who better to regale a tale of the Italian Mafia than a small studio based in the UK? Developer Silverback Studios were made up of former members of Acclaim Manchester. Cutbatch started after their collapse, and the originally titled Interview with a Made Man went with them, made for PlayStation 2 and PC with their planned Xbox version being canned. Silverback are new to me, so I looked into what other games they developed. A grand total of 1! This one. So let's take a look at Silverback Studios' entire library with Made Man.
Does it help the grass to grow? Sunshine.
New York City, 1989. Joey Varola, a Vietnam veteran, is off to see his mob boss, Philly Lombardi, along with a young protege. Today's his day. After what's gone down, Joey is either to become a made man or dead. Why? Money.
It's always about fucking money.
But while driving to Philly's, our friend here is curious to know what's going on.
Look, you really sure you want to know what this is all about? Okay, kid.
So Joey starts from the beginning. The majority of the game is Joey retelling the whole story via flashbacks, which is a good way to jump around the timeline without having to connect parts coherently. 1971.
Hey, so you're Joey. I want to thank you for looking after my boy.
During his service in Nam, Joey looked after Philly's boy, Johnny, and as a thank you, he offers Joey work. He has a small business in North Carolina, basically a cigarette racket, buying them cheap in North Carolina and selling them for a profit in New York. Hey, you gotta start small. While driving back to New York, Joey stops off at a diner for a coffee. And soon, some hillbilly dick Benny comes in and starts mouthing off while another makes off with a cigarette truck. The manager helps Joey out by lending him a gun and points him in their place's direction. Made Man is a third-person cover-based shooter with rather hit-and-miss mechanics. In fact, this whole game is rather hit-and-miss, which you'll see throughout. Taking cover is a must, but even then the occasional bullet will hit you. It's a good thing there are plenty of random objects scattered about. Following a linear path, Joey simply needs to get from point A to point B, and most enemies aren't exactly the sharpest tools in the box, as they tend to give away their locations by shouting things like, "He's coming!" "Where the fuck is he?" And, "You're dead, Varola!" That's good stealth. But piss poor animation. When anyone speaks, there's no mouth movement, not even a change in expression. All walking, running and crouching is the same for all character models. They all stand like they're about to receive a spray tan. And you know what the confusing part is? This was changed slightly from the PC version. I looked up some PC footage, so here's a comparison. Yes, the PC is more capable, but really? This must lead to some odd dialogue. You start off with an automatic, which I found to be a good all-rounder. And later you get access to the usual video game roster of weapons, SMG, assault rifle, shotgun, etc., which are just conveniently lying around or taken from down enemies. It's a good thing everyone plays fair and uses the same model weapons for ammo compatibility. Following the Hicks back to their swamp, Joey has to wade through alligator-infested waters, which triggers a Nam flashback. Oh good, a flashback within a flashback, let's confuse the kid here. These aren't put into place just to add environment variety. Joey's time in service is crucial to the story, which is easily the best part of the game. Made Man's storyline was written by crime author David Fisher, from assistance from real ex-mafioso Salvatore Bonanno. For spoilers' sake, I won't go into details because I'm sure you're all clamoring to play this one. In Nam, Johnny shows Joey a little secret, something they want to keep their eyes on for when they get discharged. A chapter isn't very long if you get through it in one piece, which is why there are 17 of the damn things. So, how do you pad out 17 chapters? By padding out the story too. Don't get me wrong, it's still the best part, but giving a decent layered story to a simple linear game seems a little wasteful. Joey and Johnny's Vietnam MacGuffin aside, the family have more problems to deal with. The FBI have been poking their noses into Philly's business, and they need to be told to back off. Unfortunately, Joey overdoes it a little. So to set things straight, Philly's FBI contact requires 50 grand. A bank heist maybe? Nope. A security van chase? You wish there was that kind of variety. Nope. A Bachman-Turner Overdrive concert. I shit ye not.
Drop to the floor, let's make this nice and quick.
After swiping the money, Joey needs to escape via the overhead gantry with the concert going on, consisting of the same 2 songs being performed on repeat. You better get that money out of there quick because the audience is going to demand it back after this lame 2-song concert. But that is also something in the game's favour, the licensed music. I guess that's where the animation budget went. The cover system works for the most part but feels slow, like Joey doesn't like doing it. When walking, or waddling, close to walls and objects, this symbol appears on a surface you can hunker down to. If running, Joey will pull the most half-arsed headfirst dive into it. If enemies are over there, fine. But if they come up to you here, you have restricted movement and coming out of cover to deal with them can be too late. Okay, I'll address the obvious comparison. Early that decade, a certain disgruntled cop game came out. A third-person, dark gritty New York shooter. Made Man was clearly influenced by this, but later it starts to go beyond influence. For those who have played Max Payne, see if this scene looks familiar. At some point, Joey needs to go after the Triads for not paying their protection money. Things escalate to where Joey chases Jade Lee, a Triad higher-up, to a rooftop helipad. A rooftop with a radio mast. Yes, in order to stop a woman from escaping via helicopter, you have to topple a radio mast by shooting its guide wires. Silverback, there's inspiration and there's just downright plagiarism. From Nam in 68 to Joey's drive to Phillies in 89, Made Man takes place over 21 years. Wow, spanning 3 decades. I'm not actually joking, the box actually says that. It takes you on a journey from Joey's beginnings to becoming Johnny Cash apparently. And like I said, the story isn't bad at all. Any other good aspects? Well, the shooting is punchy and satisfying, the voice acting is pretty good, and there's a chapter where Joey's fighting through a cemetery, and there's opera playing from a distant car which slowly gets louder as you get closer. A nice artistic touch that really added atmosphere. But that pales in comparison to how piss poor this game is overall. The borrowing aside, the audio levels are all over the place, the enemy AI is very basic, and this is all you do. Shoot, move on, shoot some more. 17 damn chapters of it. With a development change and an altered title, this clearly went through some cuts, and it really shows. This wasn't fun. I wanted to get this over with, and I didn't look forward to a play session. It's not terrible, just really tedious. Add this to your collection, sure, but please, don't actually play it.
Alright, this was definitely a very bad thing.